This is Hannibal here from thehannibaltv.com with a daily wrestling news update for you. I did report a few weeks ago on Mr. Wonderful's health. Since then, he has a haircut and he's at home with his son Travis. He's looking a little bit healthier, but his son Travis actually wrote me a note that I'll share with you. Quote, "I just wanted you to know that no one knows what my father has been through. He was completely abandoned by my mother and the system. I sent that video because I was desperate, and if it meant people seeing the truth so he didn't die in that situation, then he was worth it. A lady heard about what happened and took him in for a week for free at her facility and helped me set up getting him living with me. He does not have much longer. Just weeks is what I was told. I am packing him up tomorrow morning from the hospital for him to come live with me for his final days. Just wanted you to know that from the source that it was worth it. My father would be proud." End quote. So there you go. And from this picture, it looks like he is at home with his son, Travis. He's out of that facility. So I did put the link to the interview I did with Paul a few years ago in the description. He is a Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer as well as a WWE Hall of Famer. In other news, as far as ratings go, they're going to be delayed. So tonight's Raw rating will not be in for a couple of days because of the holiday. Of course, last week, Raw tied their lowest rating ever, which was 0.41. And SmackDown did their lowest rating on Fox, 0.4. And my friend Brian pointed out to me that if you add up the Raw rating, 0.41, SmackDown, 0.4, and NXT, 0.17, all from last week, together they don't even break a 1.0. And he also pointed out to me, and this is a smart man, and he's telling the truth here, that a lot of the same people are watching all the shows. So it's not like it's a completely different audience watching Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. A lot of the 0.4s that are watching SmackDown are also watching the 0.41 Raw and are watching the 0.17 NXT. So that just shows you, if you think about it, how small an audience they're getting. And keep in mind, when Fox first agreed to that hundreds of $millions a year deal with WWE, they were expecting them to average a 1 rating. Other than maybe the first episode, I'm sure there may have been others here and there, but they've barely been averaging a 0.5 lately. So they've been averaging lately less than half of what they were expected to get. Uncle Lou, terrible. Well, it is sad for sure, but everyone gets older, and I'm sure all the concussions he had didn't help. Having the dementia issues that Mr. Wonderful has, feel bad for him, and I'm not going to not report that because I am a wrestling reporter. Bill Anderson on here. I'm not sure if that's the real Bill Anderson, but he says it's not a surprise. Or the Bill Anderson I know, who, by the way, had a leg injury recently, so speedy recovery to him. Paul, you'll never see me wrestle in WWE. It just wouldn't be the place for me. My place is as a wrestling reporter, and as we move on out of wrestling, I'm already doing MMA reporting. I'm very proud of my MMA interviews. I've done boxing interviews with some very famous boxers, including Larry Holmes, Evander Holyfield, just to name a couple of them. Bill checking in from Louisiana. I'm not going to be too far from Louisiana when I cover the Bruiser Brody Cup, November 5th and 6th, 2021. looking forward to that. It's going to be huge. Tons of names involved in that, including none other than Kevin Nash and Psycho Sid. Two guys that I have wrestled in my career. My friend Herb Sivens is getting a report there, and the Blood Hunter is going to be back in Texas for that event. And I am aware of who he's going to wrestle, and they're going to be really good matches. The second match, the guy he is facing, I think will be a match that Bruiser Brody himself would be interested to watch. But more news on that is going to come. But I can tell you that the first guy Blood Hunter is wrestling at the Bruiser Brody Cup is a WWE, WCW, and ECW legend. And the second guy is a former NXT competitor who's still in the prime of his career and is known for being a really hard-hitting wrestler. So make sure you come out to that. It's going to be the biggest fan fest in Texas of 2021. Yes, Brody was a beast. For sure. Daryl, no, it's not Gangrel, but Gangrel will be at the Bruiser Brody Cup. I don't believe either of the Blood Hunters' opponents have been announced yet for the Bruiser Brody Cup. Sabu, I think the Blood Hunter sadly finished off Sabu the last time they met, which was in Texas, for a company that neither of them are associated with anymore. Terry Funk, sadly, is going through some mental health issues too, unfortunately, related to dementia and all that. So I wish him well, despite the issues we've had in the past. So wish everyone a good night. I'm going to do some training here soon.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Support us on patreon.com for $1